Sustainability and light. What is the most important aspect that you saw at Light and Building?
So I think actually sustainability is now in everybody's head, meaning that not only innovative designers or architects are thinking about it. I think it is really on the mind of manufacturer, because you see it everywhere where this is an important aspect of production and developing new ideas and products.
And about products, what is the most popular trend that you have seen here?
I think that's actually a very good question, but I don't know. I was looking all the time because I knew that this question was about to occur, but I couldn't find something really new or really innovative. So it's a bit, I would say, a further development of ideas that we saw in the last 2-3 years. But I couldn't figure out anything that is really breaking news. And I mean, there's nice stuff like these super flexible stuff that we're seeing here at this stand from Stupi. I mean, the size of miniaturization. But I mean, the miniaturization is something that we are, I will not say used to, but it is actually going alongside with LEDs, right? You can integrate it in super small track lighting systems. We have seen that already in previous years.
About lplan, lighting design, which considers lighting as an integral part of the architectural design. So what are the three most important aspects for a successful project, do you think?
I think that's a very good question, and I was thinking about it before, and I think the first important thing is that you have a client, somebody who is doing the contract with you, who is conscious about the importance of lighting. Of course, we are used to talk about it and explain what it means, but as a matter of fact, if there is no interest in lighting, it will be difficult to convince somebody to even do a contract with a lighting designer, right? So I think the client or the people who are controlling the project are very, very important. Then secondly, it's the architect. The architect always was and still is the master of a project. If you have a pyramid of decisions, the architect is the one who is on top, okay? So, and our best projects were always those where we had a very close and very good relationship and good understanding to the architects or interior designers. Yeah, so that is number 2. And then number 3 is also, not to forget, you need somebody who's going to install it. So the good team of craftsmen who are putting your luminaires into place is also very important. And these days it's about electronics. You need a system where you can use all the advantages of LED lighting. You need somebody who's understanding that and who is also asking what was the design intent. If you know that, you can really bring all the thoughts into a project. So I think, and of course not to forget that the own design team, that's number 4, also must be very good. That's of course also an important issue of many good projects. The people who are working actually on it, right?
So thinking about lighting design in times of climate change, what are the best solutions do you think that we are coming out with?
Yeah, I think, well, we talked already about sustainability, and I think sustainability, of course, is a very important impact in the development of products and in any kind of further development that we are doing. But I think we also should not forget the quality of lighting, and I try to implement that not only in all our projects, and I also try to bring the quality of lighting into the teaching, into the education that I'm doing in Wismar at the university, where I'm telling them, the students, that they have to think about not only the quantity and the efficiency, that's of course important, energy saving, of course, but they also have to think about color rendering. How good is the light source? Does it flicker? Is it flicker free? I think that's very important as well. And then, of course, the whole set makes a very important impact on the final project.
Thank you so much. And then what is the most complicated or elaborate project that you have been working in your career?
The number one is actually, that was the Post Tower in Bonn, a project that we did with Helmut Jahn, the famous US, American, German architect. Jan Kerserli, the French artist, was involved. And this was our first big international project, which also brought us into the League of Famous Lighting Designers. We got an ILD award of merit for it. And it was a project where all these factors that I said before, a good client, a good team, a good architect, and good interior designers, all these things came together. And on top, the client was willing to push a project which was for the Deutsche Post to be a new company, because before it was part of the government, it was a ministry, it was this change after European laws and so on, and they wanted something new, something special, and that was also important. So there we had the freedom to do things that is not very often. Very often the client knows, I want this, and then you have to simply fulfill. But they were open for innovations, and that's why I think it was a great project. Number two was almost going alongside, much smaller, but for me and my career and my further development more important, was the Medical Society, a small office building in Berlin. And here we had the chance to do an office luminaire where the boss of the client said, Michael, please do something that nobody else has.
Oh, wow.
And it should be something that you were always dreaming of doing. So believe it or not, but he had not finished his last sentence, and I knew already what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a luminaire where you can change the color temperature. So I had heard that there is a preference. Women prefer more warm white, and men prefer more cool white. But I never had a project where I could test it out, and I thought this is now the chance where I can do that. And what made the project even more interesting is the fact that we had a luminaire that we developed with Celux, manufacturer in Berlin, where we developed an RGB luminaire. So this luminaire, the workforce was able to select not only warm or cool white, they could select a color. The color was only indirect, and we are in the year 2003. So this was very early. I mean, today RGB is simple, but at that time we had to use fluorescent lights, and then this brought me into the subject of light and health. That color has a huge impact on the human being, and that you can use it for many other purposes, which go further than just the feeling of well-being. Okay, so then the third project, sorry for that, but the third project is for me a project that we did in Berlin. It's the Hotel Adlon, and that is also a project where these three factors that you asked me for, what makes a good project, also were absolutely nicely fulfilled. We had an excellent client, the Kempinski Group. We had an excellent interior designer. There was a perfect understanding, and also from the beginning we were working together with the people who were installing it later, and that's also why it got a prize in the Deutsche Lichtdesignpreis.
Okay.
And that is also a project that is really nice from every aspect and worth seeing.